You'd even consider letting him stay. We must be rid of this menace.
Have a heart. Gale is one of us, and we should stand by his side.
Once I'd step out of the protective aura of the artifact, it wouldn't be long before the Absolute overtakes me. I'd never let that happen, so I'd aim for a swift end. I would consume some midnight tears and venture as deep into the Underdark as I possibly could, till they cloud my eyes forever. With a bit of luck, I'd manage to make it to a mind flare colony, so that when the orb erupts, one loud, last song of vengeance would reverberate through the dark. Wouldn't be a heroic end, but coarsely poetic enough in its justice. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
Hey, you. Where would you start? You give me chills, baby. No mean feat at my temperature. Gods, we better find a way to cool me off soon. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
Let's get on with it.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. These boots have seen everything.
I admire your courage, Gale.
Thank you. Any particular reason?
Between the orb and the bug, you've got more than your fair share of unwelcome passengers.
What can I say? Mother always taught me to be a gracious host.
What are you thinking about?
Speak. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others. It is over where I am concerned. It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor. I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Perhaps Amelia is right. I should get a mask.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral. The end of Karsus and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell. Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Yet it is life's most worthy pursuit in my impartial, if not humble opinion.
Sir Gale's been walking around this whole time with some sort of magic bomb in his chest. I'm not normally one to begrudge someone their secrets, but that's something I should know. I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharon presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence. I'm sure you do, but please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
All of this. It must feel like a betrayal.
You'd even consider letting him
Have a heart. Gale is one of us, and we should stand by his side.
Once I'd... wouldn't be a heroic end. That you truly... I thank you all. I stand now.
Sir Gale's been walking around this whole time with some sort of magic bomb in his chest. I'm not normally one to begrudge someone their secrets, but that's something I should know. I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharon presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence. I'm sure you do, but please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Well, if that troubles you, perhaps you should fetch the bailiff to arrest me. Ah, but there's no bailiff here, is there? Just leagues of wilderness and the dangers lurking within. We're in this together, but I'll happily go it alone. My faith will keep me company. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Saloonites tell. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's a deal. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again. I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
Awake and alert.
I'm ready. Right, better get to it.
The corpse twitches in response to the spell, and you note its delicate filaments. It had been merely a child. Like its living counterparts, the corpse speaks in your mind.
A sprout. Burn. Great wars. Hurt. 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 No. Death. No death. Floating, knowing, seeing, hearing, all together, never apart. To grow, to know, to be one with the circle.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
I've got a long road ahead.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Ah, yes. An event that came to be known as Karsus's first Mistral. Now, try Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Speak. It is over where I am concerned. It is through yet I do. The next resolution may not end in her favor. I am Mort. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less. Yes. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is words forged in steel. We must find the first symptoms should have long since started. Yes, but besides, what hasn't happened may yet come. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master. A question that elders, and now this voice, this creed.
One day I'll catch a break.
What could they accomplish?
Don't be shy. Damn, it's good to be alive. What's cooking? Oh, I could go for a good meal. Come on, let's go. Let's march. Wanna dance? What a charmer. What's the story?
I want to have a word.
The Sovereign's thick fingers stroke the corpse at its feet. A droning melody greets you as the creature turns its gaze to you.
Flesh talker, I show you a memory. Watch and listen.
A violent vision grips you. Dwergar, dark dwarves chopping myconid remains.
They broke our peace. They killed our young.
The Sovereign's song slows to the pace of a dirge. It is still in mourning.
We laid waste to many, but intruders remain. Lakewood.
The Sovereign's song halts as it measures your worth.
I sense your resolve. You will find Dwergar invaders near Lake's Edge. Cleanse the rot. Destroy them.
Dwergar killed their children. They should pay the price for the cruelty.
An illusion comes over you. A Dwergar choking on a cloud of gleaming dust.
Accept this gift. It will help you exterminate.
The Sovereign gifts you one more vision. A wall of vines parting to reveal glowing light.
Riches of magic and mind. Cleanse the rot, and they are yours. You do the Circle a service. We will await word. We breathe life into our enemy's flesh. The dead make a fine host for my growing children. You may not. The spores hear only the Circle. They dance to no other harmony.
Deep purples swirl into familiar shapes. Gnomes in mining gear, chased by Dwergar.
The Dwergar seek a gnome. It is a guest.
The Sovereign says nothing, but you hear appreciation in its song.
What are you thinking about?
Well, well, well. Hey ho. Hey, good looking.
I'd love to, thanks.
Soldier, don't burn yourself. Making me sweat. Attention!
What's the story?
Damn it! Oh, it's good to be alive. Who am I?
Don't.
Her condition is familiar. Poison, derived from a wild weed common to the Underdark. She'll need an antidote soon, most likely held by the poisoner.
Myconids. Oh, took pity on me. Sound lads, especially since the Greys gave him hell for it.
These myconids are the hospitable sort. Refreshing, after our run-in with Kvorga.
Dwergar slashed me.
Like dwarves, Dwergar have innate resistance to poison, and thus no need for intricate brews. Though deadly if left untreated, the poison can be cured by the antidote or natural remedies.
Gods. Whatever that is, I needed it. Why are you helping me?
No arguments there. Felt like a hook horror was sorting through my guts. But that cure did the trick. Quick, sharp too.
I thank you for your help, but I gotta get moving. Oh,
It hurts.
Girls, garters. Oh, I don't have time for this. My kin need me. Seems you're the helping kind. All right. I need you to rescue my kin. Not charity, mind. We can pay. We're Iron Hand Clan. Best artificers in Baldur's Gate. We were on an expedition down here when the Dwergar snatched us up. I got away, but not the others. The Greys have them digging out some old ruin across the lake. Just mining for materials. Nothing unusual. But our work pays well. Help my clan and we'll make it worth your while, I swear. Thank you. Only wish I could go with you. But here... I nabbed these boots from the Greys when I ran. I'll feel better knowing you're using them to kick some Dwergar ass. I'll mark where I made my escape, and wait here, I suppose. Not much choice, eh?
Time to press ahead.
What are you thinking about?
I'd love to, thanks. Hey ho. Well, well, well. Don't burn yourself. Don't be shy. What a charmer. Making me sweat. Attention. Hey, good looking. My eye!
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. Finding is my job, my friend. If there's anything in the world worth knowing, I assure you, I do. Why, I'm practically an expert. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar. As a matter of fact, I do. But why do you? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. If what you say were true, you, isn't it?
Never a dull moment. If not over, then through.
A long way to go still. Can't afford to stay idle.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
My faith protects me. What's next, I wonder? There's no time to waste. There is work to do. What's next? What am I to do? No time to dally. I wonder how I'll feel when I remember everything.
Never wanted the easy path.
Eager for battle. Eager for battle. Flackets will be done. Flackets will be done. Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood. Indolence breeds madness. Flackets will be done. Action, not reaction. Indolence breeds madness. Weapons high, standards higher.
Can't slow down.
I applaud your taste.
The air is ripe with magic. Your desire, an excellent choice.
Speak. I had assumed our parasites served elder, and now this voice, this creed. It is over where I am. The next resolution may not end in her favor. It is imperative we locate a creche. Yes, in great detail. Then you have ceased to exist. The first symptoms should have long since started. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
What's on your mind? If worst comes to worst. An event that came to be known as Gale's folly, one might call it. History.
Freshened up and ready to fight.
What's cooking? Oh, I could go for a good meal. Let's march! Come on, let's go! Soldier, wanna dance? I'd love to, thanks. What's the story? Hey, good looking. Soldier, don't poke the Karlak.
I admire your courage, Gale.
Thank you. Any particular reason?
Between the orb and the bug, you've got more than your fair share of unwelcome passengers.
What can I say? Mother always taught me to be a gracious host.
Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck.
Oh, Will! Your horns are deadly! So much character.
Character, you say? Well, who couldn't use a bit more of that? Though I'll have to take your word for it. I've been avoiding my own reflection. Friend, be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me. Horns and all. The people will see A curiosity. Maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. After my exile, I was hunting near the Cloakwood. I heard a child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I mourn the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm wriggling in my skull didn't instill much confidence in the days ahead. With you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
Is that blood? No, never mind. I need to find a way forward.
So many minds connected. What could they accomplish?
Something's on my mind.
Damn it all!
The Sovereign's thick-fingered,
Flesh.
her violent vision. The Sovereign.
I sense.
I suppose such wicked killers deserve wicked ends.
An illusion comes over you.
Accept this.
The Sovereign.
Riches of magic. You do the circle a service. We will await word.
The Sovereign's song twists into images. Duergar changing size, slipping in and out of invisibility, invoking craven divinity. An illusion comes over you. A Duergar choking on a cloud of gleaming dust.
Accept this gift. It will help you exterminate.
The Sovereign gifts you one more vision. A wall of vines parting to reveal glowing light.
Riches of magic and mind. Cleanse. You do the circle a service. We will await word.
The Sovereign says nothing, but you hear a...
We bring the dead.
If I die down here, destroy my corpse.
You may not. The spores.
Don't. Don't.
Her condition is familiar. She'll need an antidote soon, most likely held by the poisoner.
Myconids. Took pity on me. Sound lads, especially since the Greys gave him hell for it.
Charitable bunch, these Myconids. And he's more so than Korga and her pet snake.
Dwegar slashed me.
Like dwarves, Dwegar have innate resistance to poison. Though deadly, if left untreated, the poison can be cured by the antidote or natural remedies.
Gods. Whatever that is, I needed it. Why are you helping me? No arguments there. But I thank you for your help. Girls, garters. Oh, I don't have time for this. My kin need me. Maybe not. But you are. I need you to rescue my kin. We can pay. We're Ironhand Clan, best artificers in Baldur's Gate. We were on an expedition down here when the Dwegar snatched us up. I got away, but not the others. The Greys have them digging out some old ruin across the lake. Some dusty temple. It doesn't matter. They'll work my clan to death before they ever get near it. Just mining for materials. Nothing unusual.
The briefest hesitation, but enough. She's lying.
But our work pays well. Help my clan and we'll make it worth your while, I swear. Fine. It's complicated, but my clan has trouble back in the city. We were searching for something to turn the tide. That's all I can say. But it's worth a lot to us. Understand? Look, you've done me a good turn and you deserve the truth. But that's as much of it as I can tell, I swear it. If you need to go your own way, I respect that, but still, I'm asking. Thank you. Only wish I could go with you. But here... I nabbed these boots from the Greys when I ran. I'll feel better knowing you're using them to kick some dweger ass. I'll mark where I made my escape, and wait here, I suppose. Not much choice, eh?
What are you thinking about?
On my way.
Come on, let's go. Don't burn yourself. Don't be shy. What a charmer. Hey ho. Well, well, well. Let's march. Making me sweat. Damn, it's good to be alive.
Oh, I could go for a good meal.
Very well.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make my... My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run.
I agree. It's a feisty critter.
Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Yes, quite. Well, there is some mild trauma. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Oh, hi. Hey, you.
I'll give it a shot.
Oh, hi.
Best be on my way.
Ripple bark could sustain an entire village if seeded properly. Ah, a visitor. You're a welcome sight. But let us observe the customs of the locals.
The scholar's brow tenses. His voice spills into your skull, the spores connecting mind to mind.
Blurg, proud member of the Society of Brilliance, at your service. Or perhaps not. Your mind is far more complex than that of the fungi. Understandable. We are small in number and rarely stay in one place for long. My colleagues and I are working to improve conditions in the Underdark. This need not be such a dire, hostile place. It's curious to find a surface dweller here. What has brought you down so deep? Truly remarkable. But why come to the Underdark, where they hold so much power? You were infected by an illithid tadpole? It's a miracle you're still intact. You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist. Omelium!
I hope this is important, Zerg. My Zerkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside his head, but he hasn't turned.
No ceremorphosis. That's impossible, but intriguing. Are you looking to have it extracted?
Geich, your head will make a fine trophy for my queen.
Please hold. I understand your rage against my kin. One of my brethren forced a tadpole into your eye. Or ear, perhaps? But I assure you, I stand with the Society of Brilliance, not the colonies of my people.
Fool. They infest your head and invade your dreams, and still you would parley.
I ask only that you refrain from violence. I respect that your opinion of my kind may be charged. If that settles matters for the time being, would you like a diagnosis? Open your mind to me. Let us see what lurks within.
As the Meloan's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size. Alive, awake, almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the larva is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis. No, it appears to be shielded from physical and magical influence. And even without the shield, the extraction would involve severe cranial trauma. It is not ideal. The process would surely kill you. But not to worry. Should you transform, I will happily perform a new examination. A Nautiloid? Fascinating. I have never set foot on one myself. They were our warships during the greatest eras of the Illithid Empire. We ruled the entire astral plane from their decks. The design was lost when the Gith rebelled and ended our dominion. Of course, I am sorry I cannot assist you in its removal. But I have an idea.
Oh, perhaps I should start taking notes.
There may be a way to bypass that stasis. There are many alchemical substances that can influence the mind. I do not intend to shatter its protection. I need only bypass the interference that prevents me from communicating with the lava. A tincture distilled from a collection of rare mushrooms. They have subtle psionic influence. I would require a fresh tongue of madness and Timusk spores. But be warned, in their natural state, both of these mushrooms can be quite dangerous. Timusks cause confusion in those that approach them. The tongue is self-explanatory.
The Underdark, of course, although they are quite rare, and their discovery perilous. I imagine Lenore would have them in her possession. She served Mistra as a cleric. She is quite fond of her garden. Lenore has always been a lonely sort. Nature was her only companion. I offered her the chance to join the society, but she refused. Her experiments on Susa bark took priority.
My formula will hamper the more harmful effects once the mushrooms are brewed into a potion. Your sanity, however much you possess, should remain intact. May your travels be safe and swift. I have never seen anything like it, Blood. Is my species evolving?
Perhaps, but at such an accelerated rate.
It simply shouldn't be possible.
What are you thinking about?
Fleshwalker, tongue talker. Far you've come. Reach into memory. Tell me of home.
Cringes in response to your sunny vision. It reveals its own home in reply, a humid cove filled with decaying myconid corpses.
Dwegar destroyed my people. I am a sovereign with no circle. This circle does not welcome me. But I have heard the song. You mean to cleanse the Dwegar rot. I mean to join you. I am the danger, and I am the cure. They erased my people. I will erase theirs. In death, Your foe becomes your ally. I will raise it. You may command it. Remain in the Underdark, and I will follow. We cleanse the rot together.
Might be enough to cover rent.
Magic. Some monster did this,
here.
marking its territory.
Seek and you shall find me.
At least things have stayed interesting. Maybe I need more pockets. It feels like my magic is getting drained. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Got to keep fighting.
Still on my feet.
Bye forever, pal.
Victory awaits.
Creator. Destroyer. Tormentor. On the victor's path. Death's close at hand.
Blood comes easy these days. Talk to me. Take your...
Well, so much for peace.
Yes.
The plan is going forward. I will ascend.
Mistra Rill. No holding back. The last board is set. Impero Vitae.
That should more than suffice.
Silence! I am breathing life.
Rook to Queen 6.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Still on my feet. What's the plan?
Battle favors the fearless.
I will ascend. Time to strike.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Swift and lethal.
This is gonna feel good.
Hells, we're attracting too much attention.
Battle favors the fearless, fleet of foot.
Easy these days.
Well, so much for peace.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Allow me to demonstrate.
I can't even catch my breath.
Victory awaits.
Don't waste a step.
Let's cut your fire, baby.
Let's finish this.
Death is but a word away. Battle favors the fearless.
Survival is all that matters.
Fury, I am death.
No word.
What should I do?
I speak, they burn.
Got it.
Ignis.